The first half of the week is over. The second half of the week starts now. The fact of the matter is it's Wednesday. It is Wednesday night. It is time for all things rock and metal. This is the Metal Summit. We are your island of misfit toys. We are Jason, Psycho Steve, Angel, Bobby Dreyer. I'm Jay. But enough about us, because the fact of the matter is it's all about her. We want to welcome in our guest right off the bat. Singer-songwriter extraordinaire, Moriah Formica. How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. We are great. We are very, very good. We really do appreciate you, as always, spending your evening with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, for sure. So let's just kind of start things off as the world kind of gets back to turning and as the sadness is slowly but surely ending. In my opinion, there is more light than darkness right now. Talk a little bit about what was going on 7 months ago. What was going on at the time of shutdown, and what were you doing during it?
Yeah, so I actually I had just got back from playing NAMM. It was in, I believe, late January, I think, was when we played NAMM. And we had a whole bunch of plans. We had a whole bunch of shows lined up. I was supposed to go on tour with Michael Sweet and Tony Harnell. And so that's kind of, that was the big thing for that year that I had planned right off the get-go while lockdown was happening. And then, you know, for all of us, like it is, everything got thrown out the window.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what I had going on before that.
Absolutely. What did you do? Like, what have you been doing kind of during it? Did you just kind of take the opportunity to spend time with family? Were you able to do any writing or jamming, or just kind of take some time to rest?
Yeah, I've been writing a lot. I've kind of had time to do all of it, which is awesome. But I've been writing a lot. I've been trying to find, you know, my sound, if you will. And I've also I put out a cover with one of my great friends, Brooke, and her name's Brooke Palucci, aka Rock Angel on Instagram. She's an awesome drummer. She's like 17, and we put out a cover of Barracuda by Heart, and we were just like, well, we can't do anything now. We're in lockdown. Why don't we just put out a cover? Not expecting it to get, you know, the amount of attention that it did, and actually, I ended up getting a management deal from that video. And then we were like, well, why don't we form an all-female band, you know? And so we've just been really, really working on putting that together. And we got to work with a really cool rock producer named Johnny K. He's worked with Disturbed and produced Three Doors Down and all sorts of bands. And we just got back from Nashville recording there. And so it's been a lot of opportunity, even though we're in the middle of a quarantine, which is really weird.
Absolutely, 100%. And before I kick it over to the guys, I got one more thing to ask you real quick in this segment, because we're definitely going to get into talking about your band, because that's going to be really, really exciting. But as you know, we did just recently lose one of our greats. If you are familiar with our show, we did do an Eddie Van Halen tribute show last week. You did recently put out a, you know, cover, so to speak, of you, you know, playing and shredding a bit to your favorite Van Halen song. So talk a little bit about Eddie Van Halen in general and what they meant to you.
Yeah, that was a huge blow to the rock community, and I mean to musicians all over. I feel like, because he was just a once in a lifetime, you know, musician. It's just, and I remember from the time I was little, like 5 years old, my dad would always have Van Halen on, and I would always just be so intrigued with the guitar sounds that I was hearing, and I would always just be like, Dad, who? Because I would always ask my dad. My dad would always have bands playing. I'm like, Dad, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? About Eddie Van Halen. and just Van Halen in general, there was something about them that completely intrigued me. And ever since I had the guitar that I would play all the time. And yeah, I just really, really loved Van Halen. And I really, really respected something that I loved about Eddie Van Halen too, is I remember, I think it was an interview I was watching with him, and he was saying how somebody asked him, like, you know, did you ever get lessons, or how come you never got lessons like that? Ooh, sorry, my phone. You know, why'd you never get lessons or something like that? And he said, well, you know, I just didn't want to be, you know, told what to do. And I just wanted to really feel the music. I felt like if I got lessons, it would take away from that. And that was something that I really resonated with, because that was how I felt, you know, around like 6 or 7 when I started playing guitar as well. And so that really had a huge impact on me too.
Absolutely, 100%.
Looked up to him for that.
Oh, absolutely. No, without a doubt, so much influence, so much respect, and just, you know, we talked regularly last week about how, you know, a lot of people will grow up, learning different riffs, learning different songs, but pretty much nothing at the time took over the young guitar players of the world than learning to play Eruption.
Right. No, for sure. I remember when I first heard that song, I felt so cool when I was like 11 because I could play it on Guitar Hero. Because I could play the actual song on guitar. And so I was like, yes, I can play. But yeah, no, that song, I couldn't even describe the feelings I first felt when I heard that song for the first time. It was like, I was like, that guy can make a guitar sound like anything he wants. It was just incredible, you know?
Absolutely, 100%. Well, we definitely have to go from this segment over to the dude repping both the t-shirt and the guitar, Mr. Dreyer. That would be you.
So big thing. So I was with a buddy of mine tonight, Adam Reaver of FU Dash Tone. Adam has been with Eddie for over 30 years. But other than, you know, Eddie being the developer of the little thing here on the back of the guitar called the D-tuner, Eddie works with everybody from Oz Fox, Michael Sweet, Steve Brown from Trickster, Paul Sidoti, who, you know, carries the big VH name with, you know, Taylor. I want to ask, so you worked, we were talking a little bit prior to going on, you were at NAMM, I was there, which I caught you, and I was like, I don't know who the heck this person is, but killer voice. And because you know how NAMM is, it's crazy. There's so much stuff going on. Yeah. You know, thank God I have Disney that I get to get my head. But you mentioned that you were going out with Tony Harnell. You had a tour booked with Tony Harnell from TNT and Michael Sweet. So with Michael, you also sang on his album. Which song would that happen to be?
Can't Take This Life. That's what it was. There was a version that he did, you know, his original version, and then there was my feature version. So it was the song called Can't Take This Life, I believe. I think it was off of One Sided War. Yeah, that's what it was. One Sided War. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So how did you establish, how'd that relationship come about with you and Michael? I mean, how did, you know, all that?
Yeah, so I actually was about 14, I believe. And one of the local venues near me, Michael Sweet was going to do a solo acoustic show there. And so my guy who produced some of my first EP and stuff like that, and he owns the music place that I took lessons from and stuff like that. He knew the owner of that venue, and she was like, "Hey, well, we're looking for people to open." And he was like, "Well, I have this girl. I think she, you know, I know she's really young, but just, you know, let her play songs. See if she's somebody that you'd want to open the show." And so I went and played a couple songs with her, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, you can open the show." So I got to open for Michael Sweet, acoustically at 14, and
Wow.
you know, I met him after the show, and he was telling me, he was like, you know, I kept on peeking my head out of the dressing room because I was like, who is this girl? And ever since then, he just kind of like took me under his wing, and him and his wife Lisa have been so kind to me and have just been nothing but helpful and supportive. And you know, I'll always love them so much.
Well, that's great.
That's how that happened. It was really, really crazy. Really, really crazy. And
what a way to get a start, you know, at 14, jumping in, you know, with
right.
An icon. I mean, Michael's, you
Right.
know, and a trailblazer too for what he's, you know, he and, you know, Striper have done over the years. But go ahead, Jay, throw it out, man.
No, it's all good, man. Absolutely. Psycho Steve, I'm going to kick it to you, and then Angel, we're going to bring you in after because I know we got a lot of fans watching. But Psycho, it's all you, buddy.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you again for joining us. The question is, was guitar your first instrument or voice was your first instrument?
Actually, guitar was my first instrument. I started playing guitar around 5 or 6, or 6 or 7. One of those things. Anywhere from 5 to 7. I don't remember, but it was something from there. And, you know, like I said earlier, my dad raised me on classics, just classic after classic. You know, the 80s pop-up videos would always be on in my house every Saturday, and we would watch that metal show and all sorts of stuff. And I see these guys playing the guitar, and I'm like, Dad, they're so freaking cool. Look at their, you know, look at them, and I could do that, and it sounds so cool because I just loved music so much. And yeah, I just saw them, and I was like, I want to be like that. And I was like, I want a guitar. And my grandmother actually, for like my 5th birthday or something, got me one of those $20 toy guitars, you know, like with the built-in amplifier and it's battery operated. My grandmother got me one of those from Target. And yeah, the rest is history. I just fell in love with the guitar. And I actually didn't start singing until I was about 9 or 10.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. You still on the guitar?
I do. I do still own it. Yes, I do. I actually have it hanging up on my wall.
Oh, that's awesome. Right on, for sure. Angel, man, let's kick it right up to you kind of off the bat because we definitely have a lot of new fans, Moriah's fans, and let's hear from the Metal Summoners as well.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fans. Michael, we really love your voice and playing and great taste in music. Kimberly, thank you for tuning in. Dean, Lisa, Michael, I hope when you get back to normal, you can come to LA and play at the Whiskey Go-Go.
Oh yeah, I would love. I actually played there a couple times at the Whiskey. I would love to play there again. I love that venue, and I just love the scene in LA because like everybody loves music there, and I feel like, you know, I don't know. I've never played a show in LA that wasn't incredibly fun and the crowd wasn't like super lively. So I would love to come back to the Whiskey, honestly, or anywhere in LA.
And we have Dexter. Robert can't wait to hear her new band. My question is, did you have any? You tackled the song from Steelheart, "I'll Never Let You Go," and congratulations on getting 1 million views. I was a teenager when that song came out, so I know that a vocalist taking on that song was terrifying. So did you have that same feeling of tackling a song like that?
Oh my gosh, definitely. I was like, before I made the decision, I was like, so many people have requested this song, but I listened to it and I'm like, damn, like, I know he's a guy, but like, shoot, like, I couldn't even believe it. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it, see what happens. Of course, I practiced a lot. And I mean, it came out, I mean, I was happy with it, and it came out all right. I was proud of myself because it was definitely one of the, if not the hardest song I've done, to be honest. It's a really, really tough song. Like, it's amazing. It's actually pretty ridiculous. And I was watching so many of his, because when I first heard it, I was like, there's no way he does this live. Wrong. He did it live back in the day, and he still does. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh, God, this guy. Like, it's insane. So I definitely felt the heat. I felt the nerves before I decided to do it.
We have Kirby has a suggestion. Can you do Queensryche, the Killing Words? I think you would do an excellent job. My personal favorite Queensryche track. Robert wants to know. I'm sorry, wrong thing. Oh, he can't wait to hear the new band. Craig wants to ask, when is the new album coming out?
We don't have an album scheduled to come out right now, but we have some songs that we are hoping to put out pretty soon. But an album is definitely in the future.
And here's a great kick-ass compliment from Michael Petrelli. Best compliment ever was Dee Snider insisted that you wear, I can't pronounce his last name because I don't want him to kill me, but he finally apologized and gave you a fuck yeah.
Yeah, he accused me of lip syncing over the original track, which was a really huge. It was like a backhanded compliment. I took it as a big compliment, but I was also like, wow, because something about me is like, I know nobody likes being accused of something that they didn't do, right? But I hate that because I just, and it was like I worked really hard to get that songs where I was confident with it. And so for him to be like, she's lip syncing, I didn't want all these people thinking, like, I don't want all these people thinking I'm a fake, because like, and plus I was like, who would embarrass themselves? Like why would you ever lip sync over somebody's original track? Like, wouldn't it be just that it's not you? I don't know. But eventually, after all of the emotions subsided, I was like, you know what? That's a pretty badass compliment from somebody like, Dee Snider too, a legend.
Yeah.
Wow. So it was pretty cool.
And I'm gonna do one more fan question and then take it back up to Jay. Kim Sullivan asked, first of all, Kim, thank you for watching us again. What made you decide to put an all-female group together?
I was just kind of at a point where with my other band that I like, when I was doing the solo stuff, I was doing the solo stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, like, this is great, but I felt like for what I was doing, I always wanted to be in a band from the time I was little. And I felt like what I was doing at that point, just, it was great to get me where I needed to be, or where I was, but it was just time for a change up. And so, I was thinking, what can I do that's different out there that, something hasn't really happened in a while. And I was thinking, started talking with a whole bunch of people, and we're like, boom, all female rock band. Like, and I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so awesome. And then like right around the same time, I came across my drummer, Brooke. And I was like, holy crap. And she only lived, it turned out that she only lived like 45 minutes away from me. And I was like, okay, this has to be, like all the stars aligned perfectly. I was like, this has to be like a sign. So that's kind of how that came about. It was just an idea that someone threw out, and then it felt really, really good, and it made sense. And I just thought there's nothing more badass than, confident females getting up there, just plugging in our instruments and playing straight up rock and roll, and jeans and a t-shirt, or a leather jacket in this case. So that's where that came from.
Oh, that's awesome. Right on. Mr. Proswag, it's all you, my good dude.
Hey, so first, if you could just tell your dad I said thank you for raising you right. And then on top of that, thank you for being open-minded about music of a different generation. It's rare. It happens, but it's rare. That being said, are there any new artists that you enjoy listening to, whether it be any type of rock or hard rock or anything actually, being that I guess with
New,
the generation
like,
thing.
right. New as in like more like you mean like modern, like in like you were saying like in my generation, or just
Yeah.
like new? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love modern music. I actually love pop and hip hop as well. I love all sorts of music. Lady Gaga is literally my favorite artist. I love her so much. I mean, but everyone knows she's a rocker at heart. You know, I love Lady Gaga. I actually love Megan Thee Stallion, and I love Nicki Minaj. Who else do I love? I love Ariana Grande. I love Demi Lovato. I love all sorts of modern acts. I really do. I love all sorts of music.
Did you watch them when you were growing up on their shows?
I did. I
Yeah.
watched. There was a show with Demi Lovato. It was called Sunny with a Chance. For a short time, I watched that. Yeah, I watched that when I was little. I loved it. And I also watched. What else did I watch? Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, there was this show called Victorious with Ariana Grande on it. That I watched too when I was like 12 or 13. I still watch that show sometimes. I actually like it.
Well, that's also because she spun off Victorious into Sam and Cat.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I used to watch Sam and Cat as well. Oh my gosh, I loved that show too.
You know,
That's
some
awesome.
trivia here for a minute. Sam and Cat, the actresses, both have the same birthdays.
Oh, you would know that.
They couldn't find a way to be friends.
Yeah, right. I think we lost.
Hey Mo, I'm just gonna chime in right quick. You look like you kind of froze on our screen. We just want to make sure we still got you.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Hang tight for a second, everybody. We will get back with her in just a split second.
I think she's just winking at us.
Yeah, she's definitely doing that, kind of giving us a little wink right quick. So, Bobby, why don't you continue on a little bit with what you did with Adam today?
So it was really interesting. So after, well, the 6th, hearing Eddie's passing, everything, I made a Bugs Bunny reference today, and I was like, well, I got a lot of Ed guitars and this and that over the years. One thing I never had, and being, from this area, was I always loved the Kramer he used on Beat It, Panama, everything. So it came up right after he passed. A friend of mine said, "Hey, I'm getting rid. I'm weeding my herd out." So this was built to exact Ed standards, and it's his original '84 Kramer, not Ed's, but buddy of mine. So I opened my wallet and just said, what the hell? And but when I got it, first person even before I got it, I called Adam. I sent him pictures. I said, "Can we do something?" He goes, "What?" I said, if you were going to give that to Ed and do it, how would you do it? He goes, "Let me handle it."
I don't know what the heck.
So it's set up exactly like Ed's.
Oh, right on. Cool. Bobby, let me jump in right quick because I think I just heard Mariah's voice. Mariah, are you back with us, girl?
Yes. Can you guys hear me? I don't know
Yes.
what just happened. My picture disappeared, and then I was like, "What the heck?" But at least, can you guys hear me?
We sure can. Absolutely.
Okay. I am so sorry
us?
about that.
That's okay. Nah, don't even sweat it. It's all good. We can totally hear you clear. You're coming through just fine.
Perfect.
We're gonna get your picture unfrozen, but we're just gonna get right back into everything if you're cool.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Awesome, cool. Fans, summoners, thank you guys so much for sticking around for just a second while we're getting over our technical glitch. So the thing that I kind of wanted to jump in with you, Moriah, just for like a little bit of fun, is that it is October, and not only is Halloween coming up, but you also just had another very successful cover in covering Dream Warriors from Dokken.
Right.
So I would definitely love for you to talk a little bit about that, because myself being like a hardcore member of like the horror community, films like Nightmare on Elm Street, as well as that specific song from Dokken, are actually held in very high regard. So talk a little bit about how that came across. Was that a fan suggestion?
I actually it was going to be a part of my set. One of my covers for the Michael Sweet and Tony Harnell tour. It was going to be a part of that because I was like, what can I play that's, because I like to do a lot of originals too live, but you also got to throw some crowd pleasers in there, as I'm sure you guys all know. So I'm like, what's a song that I haven't performed that I really love, that I think that everybody else would love? And I'm like, oh my gosh, Dream Warriors by Dokken, because not only is the song awesome and Dokken is amazing, but the Nightmare on Elm Street, I was like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be it. That has to be it. So yeah, that's kind of how I just had like a thing in my mind, and it just went off, and I was like, wow, because I love horror movies as well. Like I love that whole entire world, and so my mind immediately went to that, and I just connected with it.
That's awesome. Right on. Hey, Moriah, real quick, your screen did go down. You can still be heard totally clear, but can you check and see if your camera's off?
Yes. I can. It's not letting me click on it.
Gotcha. No worries, girl. While you're checking on that, just so we can bring it back, everything's fine, everything's live, and like I said, you can still be heard. I'll talk a little bit about what you're doing this month. Do you do anything fun for Halloween, or what was some of the stuff you loved to do in October when you were growing up?
As far as this year, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but when I was growing up, I still love to go to, haunted houses, and I love going to haunted houses. And I love doing like the horror movie marathons.
Sure.
Obviously, like I guess most kids love trick or treating and stuff and getting candy, and I love that too, as long as I was with like my parents or my brothers or something, because I'm such an introvert. I never wanted to go like with anybody else. But yeah, that's kind of what I love to do. I just love to immerse myself in in the spooky season, and yeah, watch a whole bunch of scary movies really, and go to haunted houses and stuff. That's really what I love to do for Halloween.
Oh, that's awesome. Right on. Yeah, definitely like big fans of like haunts and stuff like that. Actually,
Right.
one of our previous guests on the show was a horror actress and former professional wrestler named Janet, who wrestled and acts in horror movies under the name Lizzie Borden. So
Wow.
yeah. So that was definitely super cool. So she's a friend of the show, and we definitely love her. But Psycho Steve, let me kick it down to you, brother.
You wanted to see a scary movie? We'll watch my bar mitzvah video. That was scary. Put that out there. Okay? You guys saw the picture. Comb over, white suit, red tie, is fucked up. Whatever. Anyway, all right. So the question is, are we able to hear a song today?
Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't have any. I mean, I can sing a little bit of something if anybody wanted to hear something.
Okay, we'll think of a song. We'll get back to you on that one. So, okay. So, all right. So the question is, it's going to be an all-girl band.
Yes.
What is the name of the band?
As for right now, we don't have a name yet.
Okay. Are you open to suggestions?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. And how many members are going to be in the band?
There's 4.
4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, vocals. It's just the typical like vocals, bass, guitar, drums.
Gotcha. Are you going to be playing guitar as well as singing at times?
Yeah. My guitar is my partner in crime.
All right. And then question, a bucket list artist that you could actually perform with, dead or alive, who would it be?
Lady Gaga.
Nice.
Wow.
Awesome.
For sure.
Awesome. Okay. Gaga, if you're watching, you heard that, right? All right, go ahead. Stephanie, check it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll get Gaga on this show and we'll make that connection with her and Mo.
There you go.
Oh, I would hope so.
Bobby Dreyer, it's all you, brother.
So, season 13. Let's talk about that. Let's, look, we can go rock and roll and this and that, but let's talk about season 13 because there was a couple things happened there. Gwen left, got replaced with Jennifer Hudson.
Yes.
Who was your coach at the time?
Miley Cyrus.
What a great person to have. I mean, look, and talk about somebody who's very eclectic in, their career as well. I mean, she started out as the Disney little pop diva and then went, to
Right.
the Dolly, she does a killer version of Jolene by Dolly Parton, but
oh yeah,
but just her whole voice and everything, and just the older she got, she matured. So, what can you tell us? What did she bring to the table for you? Not what did you bring to the table. I want to know what did she give to you that said, okay, I need to do this.
She really what you mean, what made me want to pick her as a coach, or do you mean what advice did I find helpful?
Both, a little bit of both. Both okay. Would be great to hear the feedback on.
Right. Okay. So as far as why I chose her as a coach, she was the first one to turn. And she was the one that fought the hardest. They don't show how long they actually talk to you for after that, before you pick. It's really maybe 15 minutes, and they only show about, 2 minutes of the comments.
Yeah.
And so I guess that was one of the biggest things, was because I'm like, you know what? She really seems like she really, really wants to work with me. She seems that she fought the hardest, and there was and there was just that connection there. You know what I mean? I actually initially went into it thinking, I'm like, all right, I'm going to pick Adam because he's the quote unquote, rock guy. He likes rock, whatever. But when I got up on the stage, I just felt more of a connection with Miley. And something that she said that really resonated with me was, she's like, as you just said, she was like, I got my start in the industry when I was extremely young, even younger than you, because I was 16 at the time. And she was like, I could really kind of help you navigate through the industry as a young woman. And so I was like, I got big sister vibes there. And so it was really cool. So I was just like, you know what? I feel the most connection with her. I gotta go with her. As far as, the advice that really stuck with me was really kind of the fact that she let me know. I was like, I'm really afraid that people are going to think that I'm hiding behind, I don't want people to think that I'm hiding behind my guitar, or that I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I'm hiding behind my guitar, or that I can't do anything without it. And she's like, you know what? She's like, people aren't going to think that, because as long as you're yourself, it's obvious that you're not. It's obvious that is so who you are, and you just are a rocker. And so that kind of settled that thing with me, that I had to just go out there and, be myself. That was kind of the biggest thing. And she was very, very, she cared so much about her team. I remember one day I was at I was in Glam and Wardrobe, and she said to me, she was like, I told you, she's like, I told the Glam team not to touch you that much, because I just know that you are so yourself, and that, you're not comfortable that way. And that really stuck with me as well, because I'm like, oh wow, she actually cares.
Oh, that's super cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really, really cool.
How far did you get on the season?
I would say about halfway, maybe. I got to the playoffs.
Nice.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
So it was that was the one year that the playoffs were. Actually, it was supposed to be live, but it wasn't live that year. It was the first year that it wasn't live.
Huh.
Yeah, I got eliminated right before the lives.
Oh, that's a
So,
bummer for sure. How did
Yeah.
when you look back at The Voice as a whole, was it worth it?
oh, definitely, for
Nice.
sure. It it completely kickstarted my career, really. Though that and the gig with Michael Sweet were the two biggest milestones that really kickstarted my career, and I'm forever grateful for them. And it was just a very, very positive, amazing experience. And I learned a lot of things about myself, a lot of things about, new confidence. And I walked away with much more than I went in with. And so it got me amazing opportunities. Like it just gets your name out there. It's all about the exposure with those shows. And after that, I was able to do things that I would never imagine. Like I got to play 2 shows and opening for Joan Jett, and one of them was with one of my biggest influences, Hailstorm. One of the shows, the first lineup was me, Dorothy, then Joan, and then the next day the lineup was me, Hailstorm, and then Joan. And it was just the most amazing feeling ever. And I said to Lizzie too, I was like, my 11-year-old self, when I first saw you in concert and like fell in love with your band, I was like, if you would have told me that I would be in this position right now at 11 years old, I would have told you that you're freaking crazy.
Yeah, that's super awesome. That's so super duper cool for sure. Angel, let's hear from Mariah's Maniacs.
Wow. Where do I start? This is a nice comment from a female rocker, Tammy Lynn Keith Bateman. You're amazing and set it high for all female rockers. Come to Baltimore. Let my band open for you.
I would love to come to Baltimore.
Coincidentally, Jay's in Baltimore, and it's one of my favorite rock cities to hang out at. So
For sure.
Hell yeah.
We just got to drag Cycle Steve out of Jersey because
I'll drag him.
See a lot.
I'm down.
Trunk.
Again, hello from other. Stacy wants to know: have you done anything from Iron Maiden?
From Iron Maiden?
Yeah.
I have not. But a lot of people have requested Iron Maiden, and so I guess I will have to at some point. But I do like Iron Maiden.
Right, and again, wow, you're getting a lot of requested songs to do, like a lot of suggestions. I guess on the next song you may want to do, you may want to go to the comment section because they're really, wow.
Oh wow.
TNT, Slaughter, Fly to the Angels. Matthew, I'm 40, but you inspire me. Keep being you.
Oh, thank you so much. I honestly, like, one of my favorite things about, actually one of the main goals actually is for me to inspire people. Because I remember when I was, like, the whole entire reason that I even am where I am was because I was inspired by so many people and so many artists. And so, I really, really hope to be that for people.
Yeah, and a lot of people that want you to come to their town. A lot of people want you to come to Dallas, Australia, Wisconsin.
Yeah. If you guys want,
yeah.
I don't know what's going on with this right now with the picture, but if you guys want me, I could try and switch to a different device and see if that camera is working.
Jason, let me bring you in on that right quick, buddy.
Yeah, sure. That would definitely help.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Mo, we would love to get you back, front and center with your face for your fans, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Awesome. No problem. Hang with us, fans. We're going to get this all taken care of. You guys are doing great with your comments.
Yes, and suggestions. Thanks a lot, Cycle Steve.
Right back.
Totally, Mo.
They want to see her. They don't want to see me. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, you got people from Colombia, so come to Colombia, come to Dallas. Could you start an all-female Iron Maiden tribute band? That's a good idea.
There's
That-
already an Iron
There's
Maiden
already an all-female one, the Iron Maidens.
Iron Maidens.
Yep.
Courtney Cox.
Spice Girls don't count.
Spice Girls.
I like the Spice Girls. I saw them in concert.
We got to talk.
Yeah, we definitely do. Well, here, so Mo's getting back connected with us. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about our sponsors, our endorsements. We always want to thank these guys so much for supporting us, working with us, and being down for the cause. This is a family environment. There she is. While we're getting everything connected right on. So
sorry about that, guys.
Hey, no worries. Absolutely. I'm just giving a little bit of love out to our sponsors. Mo, I'll bring you right back in a second, doll, and Jason's going to get your face back on the screen.
All right,
So
cool.
we want to take an opportunity to thank Bradley Entertainment, who just put his show out last weekend that I was at, had Michael Grant and the Assassins on there. So we want to thank, Bradley, Angie Lee, Dawn Hahn, all the the crew and everybody at Bradley Entertainment for wanting to be involved with us, sponsoring, endorsing our show. We thank you guys so much. We love you so much to death. We want to thank Levy Metal Enterprises, custom guitars and stage gear. Levin Lewis, we appreciate you so much as always for being involved as well. Saren Cadaver of Twisted Vines, horror decor out of Rhode Island. Thanks so much, Saren. We love you super duper as always. And of course, we want to thank Mark and Janet of Rock and Horror Apparel for being involved as well. They do, custom stage gear, T-shirts, jeans, jackets, all that kind of stuff. So I get to actually say thank you so much to Mark and Janet for this bad boy right here that I got to wear this weekend for the Metal Summit and all.
Nice.
So, thank you so much, Mark and Janet. I love you guys. I really do appreciate you guys being involved for sure. So while Jason's getting the picture back on, we'll get you right back in here as well. So Psycho, let me kick it over to you, brother.
All right. So we talked about you being on The Voice. Now there's other shows like The Voice. There's, of course, we have I Can Hear Your or See Your Voice. There's all these like competitive shows. Do you feel that all these shows, once that you do get to the final round or you win, they own you? Like, for example, I feel when Carrie Underwood won and when Daughtry won and all the other big Kelly Clarkson, they take over your name and take over everything. Do you think it was a godsend that you didn't win? Or if you did win, would you be like, no, I'm still going to be me and take it or like it or whatever?
I honestly always, like I said from the beginning, that it was a godsend because of that very reason. I don't know what would have happened if they would have let me be me. And then it's like, you're only guaranteed one album. And so it's like, you get a record deal and you get one album. It's like, what if that album doesn't go down well? What if there's no hits? What if nothing happens and then you're still stuck with them for 7 years or however long? So it's just like, I don't think that I would have been nearly where I am, to be honest, if I won that. Because the thing is like, it's not like it was back in the day with the Chris Daughtry's and Kelly Clarkson. It's like, for whatever reason, they just don't, the shows don't seem to make stars anymore. And so that's why I always say, like, it's just really, it's all about exposure. I feel like you're way better off if you don't win. People that have won recently, no disrespect to them, honestly, no disrespect, but where are they?
Really
For sure.
quick,
And I'm just trying to keep it real. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I think that they're very talented. A lot of them are, but it doesn't make a difference, I feel like.
You know, I agree with you because there's a lot of people that we know of that have made it that haven't won, that they were the runner-ups or were voted off. So I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah. Jennifer Hudson didn't win, and Jennifer Hudson is now a judge on a rival show. You know, she's a judge on The Voice, or she was. I think now she's on The Voice UK or something like that. But you know, I don't even know if Chris Daughtry won actually.
He didn't actually. There was a big like thing about that where like his fans all thought that like the rest of the other Daughtry fans were gonna vote, and then like nobody voted, and he ended up getting like booted off the show because like nobody voted for him, and everybody was kind of pointing the finger. It was really bizarre, but I've seen Chris live a bunch, and I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I've seen him live a couple times, and he's just amazing. Chris Daughtry actually was a big influence on me too when I first started writing songs. When I first started singing, Chris Daughtry I'd put his albums in all day and play guitar to them. I would sing to them. Like Chris Daughtry.
No, that's super duper rad. In fact, if I'm picking people like off of shows, my top like 3 people, none of them won off of shows, and that was Chris Daughtry. I'm a huge Adam Lambert fan. I've seen him with Queen a few times, and I mean, I'm actually also a really big James Durbin fan. I saw him solo, and I saw him with Quiet Riot. You know, I think, you know, and none of those guys won. So I mean, it just kind of depends on how it goes. And I will tell you though, Moriah, the one thing I kind of dig when you were talking about like people not being like stars when it comes to that kind of stuff is one of the things I think also over time, which is one of the reasons I actually checked out of a couple of shows, was because the one thing I do like about The Voice is it is focused around the voice, you know, and whether or not you like what you're hearing. Where other shows, I thought they started off cool, but then when I'm watching their like kickoff show and I'm seeing like 70% of this like 2-hour show focused around like the goofy stuff and like the people that can't sing. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful either, but on a singing show and you're focusing more about the people that can't sing. Look, I don't mind a little bit of comic relief, where you're like, hey, this girl, she came out and she absolutely killed it. This guy, what an amazing set of voice. This girl had such a presence, but she needs a little more experience. And then there was this guy. That's all well and good. There's no harm there. But I felt that they were starting to pay more attention in comic relief style than the reason that they're putting on the shows. So I think, you know, what you're doing is correct. And I definitely think there's something to be said about getting the exposure, giving it your all when you're on the show, maybe not quite reaching up to the pinnacle, because the fact of the matter is, by you not winning, I'm willing to bet you made a lot of people curious.
Right. And it's, no, I totally agree. And I think that regardless, I think that whoever, like, are the people really making the decision? That's the thing, is like, I just, there's so many things with the shows that it's like, I had a really short appearance on American Idol as well, and it was like, there were just so many sketchy things on that show that I was just like, no, that's bad vibes. And so yeah, no, I totally agree. And I agree. I'm really, really grateful that the show that I was able to be on was The Voice, because I do agree that in my opinion, I think it's the best one that's out there right now, and has been for a while, you know. Yeah. Because of that reason, is because, you know, it is about the voice. It really is. So, and there are really a lot of good things. So I do agree there.
Absolutely, for sure. Angel, take it away, my friend. Let's hear from Moriah's fans.
Wow, a whole lot. So just bear with me. This question is from Aaron. I came in a little bit late. Uh, anything about touring? Like any word on hitting the road? Because I know right now, because of COVID, things are at a standstill. But
Yeah, I don't have any I mean, I have one show set up for December in Houston, Texas, opening the show with Kip Winger. But I'm really, really excited for because I think it's awesome. Kip Winger's awesome, and I've also never been to Texas, so I'm really, really excited. I really hope that goes through. But as far as that, I don't have any other dates right now. Everything's so jacked up. It's like I don't know when. I'm not sure when we'll have like an actual tour going. Even it's just probably going to be for a little while, just scattered dates here and there.
Here's a good suggestion from John. John says, if hold on, it keeps going down. If there's ever a movie made about the rock group Heart, you could actually play a younger Ann Wilson.
Oh, that would be really cool. Oh my
Just
god.
an idea if you hear about anything in a movie about Heart, hey, throw your hat in to play
Awesome.
her.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would. I mean, I could definitely see it. Ann Wilson.
Absolutely.
Michael wants to know, Metal Summit, do you do podcast? And
I don't do podcasts. Oh wait, do I?
No, I guess he was asking, like, Jay, Metal Summit, do you do podcast? This is kind of that.
This is our show. So real quick, because I want to kick it back to Angel and her fans and with the guys, like, so this is us. This is how we roll. We go Facebook Live every Wednesday. But here's something really, really important for all the fans that are with us. Not only, of course, and we saw it all day long, the love and support you guys showed liking and following the Facebook page. We also want you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, because not only is that exactly where all of our interviews go and you can watch all of our back catalog episodes, it's going to allow us to put together a much more video friendly show in the future, because YouTube is a specific video channel. So I'm not going to stand up on my soapbox, but thank you so much for asking, man. I appreciate it. We love you guys for that. But yeah, for the time being, every Wednesday night live here on Facebook. In the future, YouTube will be a thing, but definitely subscribe so that way we can build that straight up. YouTube, the Metal Summit, all of our social medias are the Metal Summit. We can be found on everything. Angel, back to you, brother.
Okay. Brian also has a suggestion. Can you sing and play drums? Maybe Kiss Black Diamond.
Can I sing and play drums?
Yeah, he was just making like a suggestion, like a request on Kiss Black Diamond.
Peter Chris.
That would be awesome.
Can I sing and play drums to those songs?
Yeah.
Let me try it. I can try it.
I mean, they got a lot of great suggestions.
I would love to do that. Yeah, that is a cool suggestion. Okay. It's a challenge.
That's one of my top 3 Kiss songs, so I'm in it.
Cliff says, go to Rock on People's. See you for Adele, Australia. They basically, Australia wants you to come there and tour.
Australia.
Yes, that's awesome. That's like a 24-hour difference from here. So
yeah,
the fact that they're
like a 24-hour awesome flight.
So thank you, Australia.
I would love to go to Australia.
Have some shrimp on the plate.
Oh, this is a good question.
Good morning, Australia.
Buenos dias. Michael wants to know, what's your favorite Quiet Riot?
My favorite what?
Quiet Riot tune.
I can't even. I'm gonna disappoint so many people. I don't even honestly, I don't remember. I don't know their songs by name, but if I heard them, I'd be like, oh, that's Quiet Riot.
Come on, feel the noise.
Yeah, that's okay. That's right. I know that song.
Sleek Black Cadillac. Thunderbird. Crickets. Crickets. Okay.
Crickets.
Now we're putting her on the spot. But here, as
still
far
got
as
a
a
couple
quiet
more.
ride, oh no,
Oh, sorry,
definitely, Angel, stick with it. But as far as a quiet ride suggestion for you, Moriah, I think you do very well with the Wild and the Young.
The Wild and the Young.
Yeah,
QR3. Yeah, it's off their third.
definitely. Keep rolling, Angel. You're doing awesome.
And you got fans that are definitely looking forward to seeing you in Houston in December with Kip Winger. Carol, if you could do a duet with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Duets.
Yep.
Lady Gaga. Again.
More song request. Alone by Heart. Good song to tackle.
Oh yeah, I
You
love
did
it.
it.
I think I posted a few times.
You did.
Yeah, I think I did that song a few times.
You have a fan, Michael. He wants to know about your new drummer, Brooke. Brooke C.
Oh yeah, Brooke. Okay, so Brooke is amazing. She just turned 17. And she's awesome. She's got, I mean, a lot of the drummers from the other bands like Seven Dust and bands like that, like Nonpoint, they all recognize her. It was crazy the amount of people that were coming up to her at NAMM and were like, "Rock Angel, is that you?" I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Brooke is awesome. She's super, super talented. Really, it's just incredible, like the feel that she has, and it's insane. And she's also a really, really sweet person. And I'm super, super excited to, be on this journey with her.
And Matthew, they sound amazing together. And now we get the chance to go to one of my questions. Okay, let's see. I wrote about 100 of them. Let me see which one. Oh, how do your songs come together? Like, what's your songwriting style?
Usually I mean, it kind of could be anything. Sometimes it'll be just a word or like a line or concept that pops up into my head, and I'm like, and I feel like really inspired by it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to finish that. I have to write a song around that. Or, I'll just have a riff in my head and I'll just build it from my guitar. But it's usually either one of those two. Is, I'll be on my guitar and I'll find a riff, or I'll find that I really like, or I'll just be sitting there and I'll have like a concept or a certain line or just one word even that would just pop up in my head. Oh, I have to write a song for that. Or, of course, if something significant happens, then I just will have the inspiration from there too.
Cool. I'll take it back up to Jay. So I pretty much took care of the fan questions. Yep.
Awesome. No worries.
For now.
yeah. Fans, keep at it. Anything that you want to ask, put them right into the comments. We
Yes.
will get to them for sure.
I
Jason,
will beat them.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Angel's all over it. So please write in anything that you want to ask. We got you guys covered. Jason, it's been a minute, my friend. Do you want to chime in, my good sir?
Sure, yeah. So let me think. I heard a lot of my questions being asked. So what made you like expand into? You mentioned, so you play the guitar, you sing, you play the drums. I mean, you do all these instruments. Like, what influenced you to venture into wanting to learn everything, which I think is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I think just my love for music. I just felt the music so intensely that it was like I don't know, it's just something that I just get and understand. It's really weird to explain. it was like really I would just be in school or I would be at home or whatever, and just like I would have like an imaginary like drum set in my head or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I love the drums in this one song, and then I'm like, interesting. So I would just like play beats on my, oh my gosh, my teachers would always be like, Moriah, stop banging on your desk. I had this one teacher who was in her back, she was like, stop banging. It's really annoying. So I was always walking around, and I was using my chest as a kick drum, and like my belly as a snare. Like I would just walk around and do all this thing. It was just something to me. There was never like a moment where I was like, I just want to sit down and learn every instrument. There was never really a moment. It was just like kind of just figured. I kind of just like did it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It was just something that was in me, I guess.
Was there ever a time learning a new instrument where you were so frustrated that you were about to give up or something, or wanted to give up, or was there inspiration to just keep going? I mean, I guess there was inspiration. So what inspiration?
I would always just think back like, okay, if you can get guitar, if you understand music and you can hear each beat and you can hear what parts are which, like you can figure, oh, this is the hi-hat and this is the kick is doing, this is the snare. Like as long as you can understand those things, I would always just tell myself, okay, you know what's happening. It's just a matter of practicing enough to be able to do it. So that was kind of what I felt with the other.
Okay, cool.
Oh, for sure, for sure. On that kind of like same note, Mo, like so is it pretty much safe to say as well that where, you know, when the school bell rings and most kids might be looking to run out to the baseball field or go running out to go swimming or whatever, or even just run home to the couch and TV, that you were running towards your guitars and your equipment?
Oh yeah, I would always come home and plug in my guitar and learn a new song, or write a song, or something like that. I would always do that, or it was either that or spending time with my animals, you know, and doing stuff like that. That was always what it was for me.
Absolutely, for sure. Before I kick it over to Psycho Steve, one other thing for you is like when you look at just kind of the idea of like putting together music and finally getting to release an EP like Bring It On. Talk a little bit about just like how you felt about putting something together that was yours for like the first time and really putting it out there and getting that kind of, you know, reception. Because like I said, that was the first time that you and I ever got to speak to each other, was when I got to write about it. So talk a little bit about that feeling, especially so young.
Yeah, it was definitely very surreal. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like these are the songs that I, you know, have been writing since I was like, I mean, Bring It On was a song where it was a collection of 6 songs that I had written from the time I was, you know, 11 to like 13. And so it was really exciting for me to see how it would all come together, because at that point I had no idea at all how the recording process worked. I didn't know that you had to double guitars and you had to do this, and I didn't know that, you know, how different it is to sing in a booth than it is to sing live. I didn't know all those things, and I didn't know that, you know, I didn't know how much you got to take your time in the studio and like I didn't know any of those things. And I didn't know how much different the finished product would be from the demo. I didn't know any of those things. And so it was really, really an amazing moment for me to see it all come together. And I'm like, wow, like this is my first thing that I've put out, you know. So it was a really, really good feeling. It was really good. But there was also feelings like, you know, a lot of the time, like your songs and doing things when you're young and you have like one vision in your head, and then you get scared. You're like, well, what my vision gets lost in this, and so there were a lot of those feelings too. But it ended up turning out great. So
That's awesome. Absolutely, for sure. Psycho Steve, it's all you, friend.
All right. So the question is, you mentioned your dad a lot being an influence as far as in telling you the good music to listen to. But it's good music. It's great music. What are you talking about?
It is good. It is great music. You're right.
So the question is, does your mom have any input on it? And does either one of your parents or anybody in your family play an instrument and said, we're going to show you how to play? Or was this just all on you?
So my mom didn't really, I mean, my mom didn't really raise me on that type of, my mom's not really a metalhead. She's not really like a rocker, you know. She likes, you know, rock songs, but she's not like, you know, if you go through her like music library, you're not going to find all sorts of 80s classic, you know, metal and rock and stuff. So my mom was never super huge on that, but what my mom did do when I was a baby was my mom would buy these like the guitar by the sea and flute by the sea, like the little CDs, and then she would put headphones over my ears when I was sleeping in like my little baby swing, you know, where babies fall asleep in it, and she would put the headphones over, and it would be like guitar by the sea and flute by the sea, and apparently nothing would get me to sleep unless I was listening to those two things when I was a baby, like an infant, you know. And so I guess I'll credit my mom with that because she started that and I just loved it. It just put me right to sleep. As far as people playing, nobody, my parents are not musicians by any sort of the word. I mean, just no, absolutely not. They are not musicians. My grandmother does play piano though. And my brothers both actually have pretty nice voices, which is weird because my parents do not. My parents so it's kind of strange. It must have like skipped a generation or something. I'm sure there were musicians a few generations ago or something, you know.
Right.
I mean,
there's can't carry a tune with the tune. I got
it. Throughout my family, there's like scattered people throughout the entertainment, but it's not like, you know, it's either like two here with music, one here. One of my cousins loves drawing and is an artist. Another one of my cousins is an actress. So there's an entertainment business thing going on. Like every other generation, it like skips. It skips a few. It's weird.
Oh, that's awesome. That's super cool, though. Before I kick it up to Angel, I want to put something out to the fans. We are going back and forth between, you know, 80 and 100 people watching at any given time, which is super duper awesome. So thanks again to Moriah's fans, to the Metal Summoners for tuning in as always. So what I want to put out to you guys is just something very simple. You know, with somebody like Moriah, who's, you know, got this killer youth factor going and is building up to this great career that we know she's going to have. What was the first time that you guys saw her? Was it strictly on The Voice? Talk about some of the shows that you got to see her in. Who were some of the opening acts that she opened for that will soon be opening for her? Put them right into the comments because we want to know about them. Angel, it's all you, bro.
Okay, I'm going to go to Greg Gluck. A very, like I said, sweet comment. I really enjoy your singing and playing. I'm pretty sure I have watched all of your YouTube videos and would pay good money to see you live. I haven't been to a concert in 30 years. God bless you. May you enjoy a long, prosperous career. So, Greg, we're all going to be ready to rock once this pandemic is over. So,
30 years?
30 years. But he would come see you to a concert, and wow, that's
30
amazing.
years since a concert. Greg, I will pay your ticket to break that streak.
And I will pay your ticket after that to go to the concert after. As long as it's not a boy band. They suck. No boy bands.
I'd have to agree with you there.
No, he has to go see a Mariah show.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And
So,
I'll pay for that
so
one.
here's a chance for you to
So much.
see
I really appreciate
2
you.
Mariah shows for free, where Jay would pay for the front seat and I'll pay for the nosebleeds.
Wow.
Michael. Let me go to Stacy and then Michael. Stacy. One of your posts, you said you used to kill it on Guitar Hero. Have you done the song Through Fire and Flames by Dragon Force?
Dragon Force.
Okay. I haven't done that one, but I remember when it first came out, that was like the big song that everybody, like, if you could get through that song, you're like a Guitar Hero god. And no, I never did that song. I never was able to do it. I never even tried.
That's with DP Hart singing, right? The guy that now sings for Snow?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, just pointing that. Go ahead, continue. Sorry.
Michael, my last question. What was your motivation for Kicks Don't Close Your Eyes? Such an amazing tune. So many of us still struggle with that. Wonder was that just a song or if it has meaning to you personally?
Well, that was actually a request. I started doing this thing where I was taking requests from people, and I would set, for like 25 or $50 or whatever. I think last time I did 25. I forgot what it was, but it was something because I was having a really hard time, obviously due to COVID, because there's no. I mean, literally, the way I make a living is at a. So I was like, well, what can I do? And then I noticed all these people that were making requests that I didn't know. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't I do this for these people? Because I felt bad that I didn't know the songs. And so I would be like, you know what? I'll do a cover for you and I'll send it to you. And so I started that whole thing. And one of the requests I got recently was the Kick song. And I'll admit, at first it was just a song, and then I heard it. And then I started going through the comments on YouTube in the comment section, and people were saying, they were like, my friend committed suicide, and this song means a lot to me and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that the song I didn't know the meaning behind it, but I'm assuming that the song is related to mental health in some sort of way, or struggling, like that. But yeah, that does have a huge meaning to me. I've struggled with mental health for pretty much all of my life, and it's something that is a factor in my daily life, and that's what most of my songs are about. So yeah, it definitely does have a meaning to me. Once I started resonating with the lyrics and singing it, I was like, oh, this song is actually a really great song.
Moving on to pets. Carol wants to know, what kind of animals do you have?
I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 snakes, and 2 lizards. I used to have 3 snakes, but one of them died. But now I have 2 snakes, 2 lizards, and I'm looking to get another snake.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
I love animals, and I
Close to
love
them?
them.
Do you get close to your snakes?
Huh?
Do you get close to your snakes?
Oh yeah, my snakes are my babies. I love them. I was just holding one of them today. I was just holding my boa constrictor today.
Cool.
That's so
I
bad.
have a quick story I have about that. I owned a scorpion, an emperor scorpion once, and I bought it not knowing anything about it, and it had this red sac stinger on it, and then I found out after it had passed away that if I got stung by it, it was poisonous, and it was illegally sold to me. So
Yeah, Emperor Scorpions are.
Oh,
Emperor Scorpions are not. I thought about getting a scorpion, but then I was like, nah.
Here's a follow-up question. Would you play the song from Kicks live? Would you play Don't Close Your Eyes? Would you play that song live?
I would play that song live. Yeah, I definitely would. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll be in one of my acoustic sets.
Cool. I definitely love Skid Row 18 and live. I really love that version of it. I never heard like an acoustic version of it, but you really killed it on that one.
Thank you so much. That was one of the songs that I loved ever since I was little, and I just thought, I was like, what song can I do that? And just Skid Row. I was like, wow.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you like a cheesy question, because when I turned 18, I kind of listened to that song, and then there was Alex Cooper. So when you turned 18, like on your birthday, did you listen to like Alex Cooper, I'm 18, or Skid Row, 18 and Life? Any of those songs that, I know it's a cheesy question, but
I didn't. I wish I did. But I didn't.
I had to, because I did when I turned 18.
But I didn't.
Okay.
Oh, God.
What?
Nothing.
What's wrong with
We'll talk
that?
after the show.
Who doesn't listen to Alex Cooper, I'm 18, when they turned 18? Somebody help me in the comment section. Please lie, say that you did.
I wish I did.
He also listened to 17 by Winger when he was 17 also. Just saying.
Really had to bring that up.
He's only...
Yeah, and then he also listened to Christine 16 when he was 16. Only get me started. I'm gonna stop.
It's like, you know, you gotta stop telling my personal life out there like that. I'm 42. Right. There's still a song that says I'm 42, but I should write one.
There you go.
No, I will say though, when it comes to Alice Cooper, man, when I was finally graduating college and school was a wrap, I was building up for months my excitement to literally play School's Out, to where the line "School's Out Forever" was like legitly a thing.
That was a Guitar Hero song for me. I used to love playing that song on Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah. I used to love playing though In the Fire and the Flames on Guitar Hero. I did get through it, but not on. Yeah, but on easy. I wasn't tackling that on expert, man. There's a reason that us bass players only play 4 strings. Like, we're not smart enough to tackle 6. Like,
I would always watch the YouTube videos, and I'm like, I can't even, like, my mind was blown.
No, it's like watching a seizure in progress. I mean,
I know.
Dude.
I know. It's like, and I have tiny hands too. There's no way that I can get like all.
What's that guitarist's name? Henry something in that band Dragon Force, right? Henry
Firefingers or something, dude. Like
Henry VIII.
Lee.
Lee, there you go. I just remember that I was talking to the singer now of Skid Row, CP, about being in Dragon Force. So.
Oh yeah.
So, but anyway.
He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job in Skid Row. I saw him at M3 last year, and I went in, you know, because I give everybody a fair shot, and I was expecting it. I was expecting to enjoy the set and just being like, okay, well, that's cool. Because personally, I really dug Tony Harnell in Skid Row. It was just, it was unfortunate that it didn't work out. You know, the guys didn't get along. You know, it's their business. It's all good. But I did see Tony Harnell in Skid Row live, and I thought he did an absolutely killer job. So I was a little bit sad to see that. And I followed Johnny the whole 15 years that he was in Skid Row. So you know, I definitely think he does a good job. Angel, I'm going to keep it with you for just a second, because I also want to see if any of the fans have chimed in on when they saw Moriah for the first time.
Okay. Yep. I do have some. I saw her on Facebook. Someone shared her video, and I have been following her since. Lisa Alexander, my brother, posted "Never Let You Go" on Facebook. When I saw it, I was hooked. Wendy Jackson, she rocks. Never seen her on Facebook, but noticed her on Facebook. Michael, it was hardcover on Facebook. Barracuda. Right. It was amazing, and I'm hooked. Carrie, The Voice, and the Times Union Center. Matthew, Facebook. Shane Anderson, first time I saw Moriah was on YouTube, Rockin' Barracuda. And he also wanted to know, do you have a favorite 90s alternative act?
90s alternative.
Yeah. If not, that's fine, because I don't have one either. So
Not really. I don't have a favorite, but there were a lot of 90s things. I really like Stain, but they're not really like. I mean, not really. No alternative.
that's
I
no
could see-
problem. I don't have a favorite either. So
I
I
could
still
see
don't.
Mariah I could see her slaying some Third Eye Blind.
Ron Hartford. I stumbled on her on YouTube and glad I did. I've shared her videos to music rooms on Facebook, giving her more exposure. Thank you, Ron, for doing that. That is so
Thanks,
important
Ron.
with new artists, so keep doing that. John, I saw her live covers of Steelheart Dockin and Queensryche. Aaron, I first saw Moriah when I was watching nail art videos. There was a video from her, and I just clicked on it and have been a fan ever since.
That's awesome.
Danny started nosing her on Facebook. She is one of my top 3 favorite chicks. Bodine, I follow Moriah on Facebook. She's an amazing talent, and I hope to see her live soon, as we all do. Laura discovered her on Facebook recently, missed out before, unfortunately. Samuel, what is your all-time favorite song?
This is.
I know that's always a tough one. All-time favorite.
Well, it's like I just love music way too much to just have like one favorite song. And plus, it's like there's so many different seasons of life. It's like you could have a favorite song one week, and then the next week you're feeling completely different, and you're just not on the same wavelength as that song anymore. And so, like, you know what I mean? For me, at least, that's how it is. I'm the person where I'm all over the place. Like, my feelings are constantly. So I could never have one favorite song because.
Oh, here's a good one from Michael and Michael Ingalls. I agree with you. I would love to hear this one as well. Please ask her if she can do "Home Sweet Home" from Motley Crue.
Oof.
Oh, I love that song. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I love. Oh, I would love to do that.
Please.
I
This is the first time I'm begging on the Metal Summit. Please.
I would always play that album and like play guitar to it when I was like 8. I would always take my guitar and play to that album. I love.
There you go, Angel. You and Michael, $12
Yes.
$12.50 each.
Okay.
No payments.
He tried. I would have, because it's a great song.
It was a really great song.
Have anybody from Kix reached out to you since you did the cover of the song? Don't Close Your Eyes.
No.
That was a fan question.
Nice. Angel, anything? Question from you, brother, before I kick it back over to the guys?
Oh, yeah. Somebody had, let me see, because I think somebody had asked it, but don't want to ask the same question twice.
No sweat.
Is there anybody that you met that you was really starstruck by? Besides Psycho Steve.
It's crazy. Like, I never was the type of person, like, I don't really get, like, starstruck. It's really weird. Like, I think the closest to starstruck that I got was when I was, like, 14 and I got to meet Lizzie Hale. I think that was the closest to starstruck I've been.
Nice.
So, I don't know. I'm never, like, super like, oh my gosh, like I've never been like that, but I think I would have to say Lizzie Hale. I would have to say that's the closest I've ever been to starstruck out of anybody that I've ever met. Because she was my hero from the time I was like 10.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome for sure. Psycho Steve, let's kick it over to you for a little bit, my friend. Let those fan questions build back up a bit.
Okay, you mentioned the drummer. Do we have a bass player and another guitarist?
We do, yes. Our guitar player's name is Bella Perrin, and our bass player's name is Ashley Supa. And you know, there's great chemistry, and they're all super talented, and I'm just super excited to work with them.
Excellent. And are they all from the immediate area, or how did they all, like you said, the drummer was 45 minutes away from you. Are the other ones close to you? And have you actually had a chance to rehearse or record or anything with them yet?
Yeah, we've had a chance to rehearse, and it's been awesome. We're all within the same. I mean, Bella's from Maine, which isn't too far away from us. It's like, you know, a couple hours, if that. Everybody's within 45 minutes to a couple hours away, so it all works out. We all
Awesome.
get a place to meet and rehearse. So
Nice.
right.
So is it going to be a full-length album, EP, with all just original, or are you going to throw a cover in there, or what's?
It's gonna be all originals, but we don't have, you know, we have some singles right now that we're working on, but we don't have any, you know, EP or album lined up yet. But I'm sure it will in the future somewhere.
Nice.
Absolutely, for sure. Jason, it's all you, brother.
So, Moriah, what do you do in your free time when you're not doing any music? I mean, you got a lot of it right now, but when you're not touring or doing any like PR stuff or anything like that, like what do you do for fun? Like how do you spend your time not doing music, or do you just do music anyway?
Well, I love to spend time with my family whenever I can. I love to spend time with my friends, all two of them. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, I would say the biggest thing that I love, like I love nature and I love my animals, and I love to fish. I have been fishing ever since I was 2 years old, and that is probably my greatest passion aside from that was actually my first passion before anything. So yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Right on, for sure. Mariah, I want to get back to your band real quick, because the thing I'm curious to hear from you is, again, especially being such a young talent, is where your head's at when it comes to this band as an all-female rock band, because of course it's well documented. You've already opened up for her in Joan. That was her thing. She was like probably the first to really put out there that's like, no, I want an all-female hard rock group. Of course, we all know them as the Runaways. There's a heavy metal band currently out of Switzerland that I'm actually a very big fan of called Burning Witches. I think they're fantastic, and they're an entire female group as well. But talk a little bit about what's going on in, you know, Mariah's brain when it comes to this band, you know, why you wanted it to be all female and what you bring to the table.
You know, I just think that it's that when it comes to being all female, I think a lot of us are talking about, you know, there hasn't been a straight up rock and roll female band. I feel like with all of the stuff that's out there right now, mainstream, of course, it would just be refreshing to have an all female, straight up rock and roll group, you know. And I think that there are a lot of of course there are a lot of female fronted bands out there right now, I think, that are doing very well. Like Hailstorm and New Year's Day, and there's In This Moment, there was Evanescence, there's it like so many, but I think that it's very few and far between that there's a all female rock group out there. And so that was kind of where my mind was at that. I would really hope to bring it close to mainstream, I think, because I think that the younger generation is desperate for something new and for something real.
For sure.
That's what I've experienced with all the shows that I've played and fans that I've met. I think that that's they're in desperate need of something that's real and something that's new. And I think that a lot of the younger kids, they don't know what to do with themselves when they see a girl that's close to their age with a guitar in her hands up on stage. They're like, oh my gosh, like you know what I mean? Because it's not what they're used to anymore. And so that's kind of where I was going with that, kind of where my head went.
Absolutely. No, I mean, there's always room for chicks that rock. That's always been my big thing. I mean, no, I've been a Joan Jett person my whole life. I love Lita Ford. I was stuck in my old ways for many years where it was nothing wrong with like the newer type bands. I just never really followed them all that much because I really never left the 80s. I mean, Motley's my favorite band for 30 years. I'm a big Lizzie Borden fan. I'm a huge what I call goth and roll fan. I'm a big 69 Eyes guy. I listen to a lot of Him, that kind of stuff. But then I started getting into some of these newer bands that, just like you said, they kind of bring something to the table. And that's when I started getting into bands like the Black Veil Brides, who I did feel brought something to the table, as well as kind of keeping me interested with my taste, because I always believed that they were kind of like what you would get if Motley Crue and Kiss made a baby.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect to describe them.
You like that?
Thought of that. No, that's perfect. Oh my gosh, that's totally the Black Veil Brides.
Yep. So I definitely really like that because I always I also like a certain amount of like theatricalness when it comes to that. But getting into that same kind of stuff, I'm definitely with you. I mean, again with Hailstorm, they're from Redline, PA. They pretty much lived down here in Baltimore before they broke, coming down to Ramshead and stuff like that. So Lizzie loves to play down here. I think what she and AJ do is absolutely, fantastic. I think I love what Maria does within this moment, and I'm also a big fan of New Year's Day. I think that they're absolutely exceptional with everything that Ash does and stuff like that. So no. There's as far as I'm concerned, there's always room for chicks that rock.
Right. No, I would totally agree. 100%.
Absolutely, for sure. I'm going to kick it back up to Angel for a few more fan comments, and then Moriah, if you have a little bit more time, we're going to kind of go right around the table about one or so more times, and then put a little bow on it if you have a few more minutes.
Yeah, sounds good with me.
Absolutely. Angel, it's all you, brother.
Well, John wants to know, do you like heavier music like Pantera?
Oh yeah, totally. I'm a total metalhead. I love Pantera, and I love bands like, one of my favorite bands is the Butcher Babies. I love the Butcher Babies. I love this band. I don't know if anybody knows a band called Amon Amarth, but they're a big death metal band. And I love them a lot. What else? They're like Vikings. Their whole thing is like they're like Vikings, and it's like Viking metal, but they're really cool. Like, check them out if you like really growly voices. And I love Arch Enemy. That's one of my favorite bands. One of my all-time favorite bands. I love Arch Enemy. So yeah, I do. I love heavy music. I love all sorts of music. I love everything from black metal to, hip hop and 50s music. Like, I love all sorts of stuff.
Jess wants to know, what has been your most memorable performance, and what was your favorite venue to perform at?
My most memorable performance, probably the one that I did. Actually, that's really hard. Okay, my most memorable performance it was probably the one on The Voice, just because that was just that was a crazy experience to play for all those people, and you know, and to have all those people see you on TV, and also to play in front of, you know, Adam Levine, Miley Cyrus, Jennifer Hudson, and Blake Shelton. Like, that was incredibly nerve-wracking. I feel like that was my most memorable experience, and I think my most favorite venue that I've ever played was the Times Union Center, near, you know, where I live, because, you know, it's my hometown venue. I've seen a lot of shows, and it was just amazing to actually be on that stage, and get to experience it firsthand. It was just amazing to play that, and it was the first like arena that I played. So it was. I think that would be my favorite venue that I played.
David Stark, just going back on Jay's questions on places that he saw you. He actually saw you at your middle school doing "Eye of the Tiger."
Oh yeah, he's actually, him and his wife are really close family friends. So they're like aunts, they're like extended aunts and uncles to me. Yes, I did. Oh my gosh, that was a long time ago.
I was about to be like, wow, they win.
Yes.
No, they've been there from the beginning. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Well, he said the middle school.
Yep, he saw you at your middle school performing "Eye of the Tiger."
Oh my gosh, that's right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so little background info on that story. That was the first time that I ever played live. Like, it was I was actually in sixth grade. Yeah, sixth grade. And I was in like fifth or sixth grade, and my chorus teacher was like, yeah, we need someone to play guitar for this. And I was so shy. I mean, I'm telling you, I didn't say a word. I didn't talk when I was not until I was really like 16, when I was on The Voice, when I had to. I didn't, and nobody ever knew anything about it. And of course, my little brother Gabe, and I thank him for this to this day. He's like, "Oh, this is me. My sister plays guitar. Mariah plays guitar." I'm like, "Gabe, shut up. I don't want." And next thing I know, she's asking me, "Just give it a shot. Come on, Mariah. Like, if you really think, you know, just do it." And I ended up doing it. I played "Eye of the Tiger" for my school chorus while they sang along, and that was like the first moment that I got the rush of performing live.
So what was that? So here's my question. This will be like my final question. What was that moment like for you? And did you pick the song, or did your teacher pick that song?
My teacher actually picked the song. I was in, because the elementary school that I went to, when you're in fifth and sixth grade, you're required to do chorus, which I think is good. I think it's good. You know, you got to see what you want to do in high school and middle school and stuff. So we would have chorus, and we didn't get to pick the songs, but you know, my chorus teacher would be like, "Okay, here's what we're doing." So we would rehearse the songs, and she's like, "I still gotta find someone to play guitar." And so that's how that went. So she kind of picked the songs and stuff, and I just happened to know the song because my dad loves the Rocky movies, and so of course I knew the song from growing up.
So for all you trivia lovers, remember the first song that Mariah ever performed was "Eye of the Tiger."
Yep, it's true.
We will have a quiz on it in about a year to see if anybody really paid attention. Yeah, we just keep going down to the comments. Your cover was amazing. It really blew my mind. They were talking about Steelheart.
Thank you so much.
Comment from Nick: all of your covers are amazing, but your original tracks are wicked stuff. Can't wait to hear more new songs from you and your band.
That means a lot, because, like, especially as a musician, because we all want, because I can do covers, like people can do covers and stuff like that, but it doesn't, when someone tells you that your covers are amazing versus when your originals are amazing, it doesn't hold the same weight. Like when someone tells you that they love your originals, it really truly means a lot.
For sure.
A lot. It's very reassuring too. So I really, really appreciate that.
Michael Ingalls wants to know, given Eddie's passing last week, as he will be the next rock hero, what is your favorite Van Halen tune?
My favorite Van Halen tune? It has to be, I mean, honestly, my favorite one is Ain't Talking About Love. I love that song. But I guess some of my other favorites would be, what else? I really like Mean Street. I love that song. I like Little Guitars. I love Unchained. That's one of my favorite riffs. I love that song. I like older Van Halen. I definitely do.
Okay, we have John. John has 2 questions, so I'm just gonna put them together. He wants to know, what song have you tried to sing but still can't perfect yet?
Oh my gosh, Sweet Sacrifice by Evanescence. I cannot perfect that song. I can't do it. I've been trying to perfect it from the time I was like 12.
And the second part to his question, if you could pick any guitarist to play with, who would you pick?
Joe Perry, hands down. He
Nice.
was my first and biggest inspiration to even getting into guitar.
And Ron Hartford had this question. This was my question as well. Do you have a video of you performing Eye of the Tiger?
Oh my gosh, I think I do. We have to have it somewhere buried deep.
Yes. If anybody has it out there, please.
If anybody has it, or if I can find it, you guys, remember this, because I'm vowing, if I find that video, I promise you I will post it. I promise. Now that everybody knows that was my first performance, I promise if I find it.
John, you have a lot of great questions, man.
Great job, dude.
What singer has the toughest vocal range for you to sing?
Oh, there's a lot. That was a really good question. I mean, obviously, is it Millie Janko? Is that how you pronounce his name? The guy from Steelheart. That was.
Don't feel bad. I can't pronounce anybody's name.
That was easily his range is insane. That song is easily one of the hardest ones I've ever done. So I would say him. Who else's range is really, really hard for me? Ariana Grande has a few songs that I'm like, holy crap, I can't, like, it's harder to hit the notes. Who else? Demi Lovato has some songs that are like way up there too, like way up there. I'm talking like, she'll hit like a B in her chest voice. It's crazy. So yeah, I would say them. Oh, Michael Sweet back in the day too. Michael Sweet.
Oh yeah.
I would say those are the ones that have been the most challenging range wise for me.
Cool. I'm gonna take it back to Jay because I did ask my question as well.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I did see way earlier in the shows a couple of we had a comment or two about "To Hell with the Devil" that definitely came up for sure. Absolutely. So before I kick this open to Jason, because this is kind of a segue for Jason, and he's already starting to smile because he knows I like to have some fun with him. Since we're talking Van Halen, I want to know what your favorite Van Hagar song is.
Oh, okay. I like the one that's like, "Come on, baby, finish what you started."
Nice.
That song.
Oh yeah.
I guess that would be my favorite Van Hagar one. I really never got that much into them with Sammy Hagar. Although I really do like Sammy Hagar. He opened for Aerosmith when I saw them when I was like 10 years old.
Nice.
Really, really awesome live.
Oh no, that's killer. I mean, I like Van Hagar as much as the next person. I've always been, why can't this be love? I just think it's an
Oh yeah,
absolutely stellar
I
song.
like that song.
For sure. I would honestly love to see you do I Can't Drive 55.
Oh, I love that song.
And on that note, Jason, it's all you, brother, because I set you up for that.
Van Hagar. So so Moriah, when I know that you've been involved in music all your life, like practically like since you were little. I don't even remember things at that age. But but what do you remember when you the moment that you realized that music was it? It's kind of hard, I guess, because you go so far back into your younger single digits. It's just, was there like a moment that sticks out in your mind that you know what, this is actually something that I could see myself doing?
A lot of people ask me that question, and all I can ever really say is like I feel like I never chose it. It chose me, and I really mean that when I say it. Like I really can't think of an exact moment when I was like, I want to do this. I want to be a musician. Like I really, there wasn't an exact moment. It just kind of happened. It just was. It was like music chose me and was like, hey, we're gonna do this and go on this journey together. And all right, sounds good. So it was kind of like that. But I mean, I guess the closest moment I've had to that was kind of the rush. Going back to that performance was kind of the rush that I remembered feeling. That the first kind of live performance, I guess.
Do you feel like you've been like robbed of that experience because you were so young when you started constantly playing and writing music?
Robbed of the
experience of realization that this is what you want to do for the rest of your life.
It's a possibility. I mean, I'm sure it plays. I'm sure it case to some extent, but I wouldn't say I feel robbed, but I think that maybe if I gotten into it, for sure, if I gotten into it later, then I probably would have had a moment that, or a song or something that I would have been like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to do. I want to do this, So I guess the answer in short is yes, maybe.
Nice. Oh, that's super duper cool. Before I start finishing things up, Angel, you're going to see this better than I do. Dude, did somebody just post the Eye of the Tiger video in our comments?
Believe it or not, somebody did. Michael Petrelli posted a link to your very first performance when you was a little girl, and then it jumps into you on guitar with doing Eye of the Tiger. Yeah. That was pretty record time.
Oh, I thought it was
a Metal Summit exclusive.
I didn't think someone would have posted in the comments.
Yep.
Well, guys, make sure that you get that to Moriah, though. Get it to her page. Get it to her fan club. Make sure that Moriah.
Yeah, it's actually in the official fan club, Facebook official Moriah fan club.
Why can't you get that?
Well, Moriah, now you don't have the pressure of having to post it.
That is
find it.
Now you just have to share it.
Yeah.
Right. It's really because it show your first performance as a little girl to your middle school to your first video.
Right.
Gosh, that was.
That was scary quick.
That's quick.
No, come on, fans. We don't here at the Metal Summit. We don't want to come off like total stalkers.
Okay,
But I mean, people have followed her since middle school. I mean, in our generation, they had these big ass cameras that they had to record our stuff. So,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
but nowadays,
Well,
it's a phone.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Well, fans, get your final comments in there because we're gonna have Angel rattle them off before we wrap this up. So, Moriah, the last one for me, darling, is so of course we're dealing with COVID. Of course we've got that going, but let's just fast forward it a little bit past that. What's next for you? What do you want?
You know, I obviously since COVID and stuff, things are a little uncertain, but what I'm hoping in the direction that things are going in is I really just want to be able to tour, you know, the world, hopefully. You know, and I want to help bring rock and females in rock in particular, you know, back to the mainstream, at least a little bit. You know, that's part of my mission. And I know that's a big it's a big thing to want to do, and it's kind of a long shot, but you know, it's something that I'm really passionate about, and it's something that I believe can happen. And I think it will happen at some point. You know, history repeats itself, and I see little elements of it coming back into the mainstream. And so I really hope, you know, especially with the COVID and the pandemic, I think a lot of people are just looking to music and to the entertainment industry for something a little bit more real and to connect with, you know. 'Cause I feel like people now they want to see they want to see somebody that's as vulnerable as them right now, not somebody sitting in their $2 million house saying, "I know it's hard right now, but things will get better." You know what I mean? That people are looking for something a little bit more real and more heartfelt and somebody to really connect to, that's on the same level, if you will. I hope that made sense. Maybe I didn't word that the right way, but
No,
I really, you know, that's my goal, and that's where I see myself in the near future. And I really, really hope that that's, you know, comes to fruition.
No, 100%. Because the one thing I actually do believe to my core, and I've said it a few times on this show over the course of the episodes, as well as just outside of the show as well, is like I really think that you're going to get two things starting in 2021, like really aggressively. We're going to get probably some of the best albums that we've gotten from a lot of these bands in a long time because they've had that time. Because the record labels also can't get on them like they normally would, where they're like, look, guys, you have a time frame. You got to get this album out. Like, go, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle. What the hell is the record label really going to be able to say to them?
Right.
Be like, well, we're all sitting at home. And you're also, frankly, you're going to get some of the best live performances that you've ever seen as well, even from some of the bands that have been doing it for so long. And I'm not saying that like they phone it in by any means, but just bands that like they've got a style, they've got their motions, like, you know, a lot of people refer to it as like muscle memory. It's just kind of like what they've done for so long. The shows are still great, but they're just used to doing certain movements, certain things, so on and so forth. But I think between a series of amazing albums through multiple genres, but I think you're going to get just some over the top energy filled live shows because these guys, I think even some of the $2 million bands that are just like tired of sitting at home where they almost have the excuse to phone it in. I just think you're going to get a series of just really exciting experiences when it comes to music. And my big thing is, fans, this is for you guys. Like, put your money where your mouth is, and this is your opportunity to really prove it. You know, there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there that are like, oh my God, music means so much to me, and you know, I need it and I can't live without it. Well, all these great shows are coming to town. Oh, I gotta work in the morning, I gotta go somewhere, I don't feel like driving. Nah, that shit's not gonna fly anymore, guys. So come on, we know this. The music industry is, you know, taking its fair share of the fair share of hits. So let's keep it going and let's support, especially the up and comers like Moriah, who are going to be giving us a lot and all that kind of stuff. I can see a lot of these comments ticking away, and I know we need to get towards the wrap up. So, Angel, let me kick it right to you to close it out, man.
Let me take a deep breath. Okay. I can do this. 462 comments. God bless everyone that watched the show tonight and for keeping me busy. Okay, let me get right to it. Michael Ingalls wants to know, have you ever met Doro? And he said he could make the introduction.
Doro. Oh my gosh.
He was supposed to open before COVID.
Yeah, I was supposed to open actually with the new band. I was supposed to open. That was gonna be our first show together. But yeah, it got canceled due to COVID. So I was never able to meet Doro, but I'm sure I will one day, and I really, really look forward to it.
Cool. So wants to know, do you like the rock group Kiss? Of course, who doesn't? But I had to ask.
I like Kiss.
Okay, let me go to the final part. A lot of fans just wishing you love, best of luck, happiness.
Thank you, guys. Likewise, I do to you too.
Oh, Nick, what's your favorite Lady Gaga song?
Oh, who asked that?
Nick Cornesia. If I mispronounce your name, feel free to kill me.
I love so many. I literally every single Lady Gaga song that you could think of, I love. Like, I don't think you guys, when I say I love Lady Gaga and my younger brother too, I don't think you guys really understand. Like, you guys in the comments, like, I don't think you guys understand like every single song I'm talking about. Like, we will have dance parties with Lady Gaga. I'll just rattle off.
And
I don't know.
That's okay. We know that part is always tough because it's hard to come up with a favorite.
No worries. Angel, just going to jump in for one quick second. Hey, Moriah, have you ever seen her live?
No, I was supposed to this summer, but it got canceled because of COVID. But it's rescheduled for next summer in August.
There's your fangirl.
Right. Ron from Colombia, thank you for watching. Just noticed that you mentioned if you ever come to Colombia, his band would like to open up for you. So I just want to say thank you for watching from Colombia. Muchas gracias.
Yes, thank you.
Go to the next one. Oh, Aaron wants to know, is the song Better Off Alone about a real life experience?
Yes, it is. It is. It's about a wicked game that someone's playing with you, which I'm sure we can all, everyone can attest to and relate to. But it's about like this person that's just sorry, you'll have to excuse me. I have a paper airplane in my hand. That's embarrassing. I forgot I had that. But
it's okay.
I got a pen, so. But yeah, it's about somebody who just it's just playing this game with you and with your heart, and you're just like, you know what, I'm sick and tired of this. 1 minute you're with me, 1 minute you're not, and then if I do the same thing to you, you get pissed, and it's like, you know what, I'll just be better off alone. Screw you. So that's what that song is about.
And the last fan question will go to John Silvio. He wants to know, would you consider doing a country song? Do you have any genre of music that you would never do?
Of course I would do a country song. I actually covered a few. I would cover a few Carrie Underwood songs. I mean, like the stuff that was like still kind of country, like Before He Cheats and stuff like that. I've covered a couple of Rascal Flatts songs. So yeah, I do. I like a lot of country songs. I like a lot of Garth Brooks. I love all sorts of music. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a genre that I wouldn't do. I don't think that there's a genre that I wouldn't cover, unless it's like classical, like instrumental, like Disney music. I probably would.
Absolutely. No, that's super duper awesome. Well, we want to thank the fans so much for chiming in. Like, this has been amazing. We really love the fact that you guys came out in force to support Moriah and ask her like some really super duper amazing questions. You guys did so great. Angel, congrats, great job, brother. You really did a good job railing all of it in, man.
It was a challenge.
That was a challenge, absolutely. Jason, I'm going to kick it to you right quick, man, just in case there's anything else you wanted to ask.
I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm good. So, but it was really nice having you on the show. Thank you. And
Been fun.
all I could say is keep it up, you know. And actually, there is one thing that comes to mind. I know you mentioned earlier that about possibly going in the direction of changing the popular music of today. I've had this conversation before, and I think that have you ever, well, I'm sure you know Post Malone.
Yeah.
Have you ever met him?
I haven't met him. I would love to, though. I know that he's a metalhead.
Yeah, because what I'm thinking is that I could definitely see you and him being the like, if you two were to join forces, he has this like in him that needs to come out, and the current music that's happening right now is kind of preventing it, and I think that if you two were to maybe work on something together, maybe there could be some magic that happens, and that could head in that direction.
Yeah,
I'm kind of just thinking out loud at the moment, but
no,
yeah,
I think
I
that's
just
a
wanted
great.
to share that.
I think that would definitely be something. I would totally agree. And you know what's funny is you're not the only person that said that to me before about Post Malone, about like me and Post Malone doing something together, because it's true. That would be awesome. And he's a total rocker, like he really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's just so cool, and I would love the chance to do something with him one day.
Cool.
Absolutely. Playing with Aerosmith, recording with Ozzy.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely got his finger on the pulse, as they say, and he definitely likes being involved. I'll even give us some love and respect out to Machine Gun Kelly, who was really just kind of doing the rap thing, and then did the Dirt movie, which I know kind of had a lot of people rolling their eyes about this rapper dude, even though he's playing literally the rapper guy of Motley Crue. But just the idea of this guy playing that. But I actually like a lot of the collabs that he's been doing a lot lately with guys like Youngblood and stuff like that. And now he literally just put together like a pop rock band, and it actually sounds pretty rad. It actually isn't too shabby.
Yeah, and I really like Youngblood too. I really like him.
Yeah. No, definitely. That was actually a concert I was looking forward to catching down here in Baltimore before all the cancellations and stuff like that. But we know we'll get all of that kind of stuff back.
Definitely.
But on that note, Moriah, thank you so much for spending the evening with us. It's definitely been a long one, but what super matters to us is that you had a good time, that you felt your time was respected, you enjoyed your questions, and that you felt that this was worth it for you.
Oh, for sure. And I had so much fun, and it didn't. I mean, it was long, but it didn't feel super long because I had and
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. I felt very respected. My time is respected, and thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Totally. Stay on the line with us just until we get clear, so we make sure that everything's cool. But I want to thank everybody for watching. All of Moriah's fans, you guys were absolutely amazing. The Metal Summoners, we really appreciate you guys as always. We hope that we had some brand new fans that will continue to watch on with us tonight. We'll announce our new guest for next week on Friday. We have that confirmed, so I look forward to putting that out for you guys. But thanks again to everybody for joining us. For Psycho Steve, for Bobby Dreyer, for Jason, for Angel, I'm Jay. Again, for Moriah Formica, we really appreciated her spending her time with us tonight. Thanks again, everybody. Tune in next week. Announcement again on Friday. This has been the Metal Summit. Enjoy the rest of your week.